Hello friends, we are looking at Trinidad once again, an island in the Caribbean and an area called San Fernando, which is a very large area. This is Gulf City Mall. They're doing some renovations at the moment. The mall's still open, but we are exiting the mall and headed into San Fernando proper. That's why there's all that construction material on the left there. Not sure if they're doing some expansion or rebuilding or repairing or what, but the mall is very much active. This is, I believe, the Gulfview Link Road. And this will go into San Fernando proper. By the way, Gulf City Mall is one of the more active malls in Trinidad, along with a few others in the north. There are a few plazas around as well, but I believe this is the biggest mall in the south. As usual, if you like my videos, please do subscribe, like, share. It's very much appreciated. It's free. Doesn't cost much for you to subscribe at all. This area is the Gulfview area, and the homes here are supposed to be in a more upscale size. One day I will show you a video of that, but that's not today. This is just random footage of me driving around San Fernando, various areas. You know, those of you who have lived in the area or have been abroad for a long time may like to see what it looks like now, today. On JB's Man Cave, I keep everything raw, so what may seem monotonous or boring to some might be very fulfilling to others. A good example of that is some will say, slow down, I want to see the area. Whereas another person might be thinking, speed up, this part is boring, just get to the nitty-gritty. And also, you can't please everybody. So really, I just keep everything raw. The idea is that you see things as I see it. So if you're in a truck with me, this is what you would be seeing. Now, there's some things going on in the country. Recently, the US created a travel advisory about Trinidad and Tobago, with Port of Spain getting a category 4, which means do not travel to certain parts of Port of Spain, and the overall country getting a category of 2, which is, I believe, to exercise caution. Nothing about San Fernando, which is good, right? Not to say San Fernando does not have its fair share of crime or criminal activity, but it's not as bad as Port of Spain. As some of you may know, on JB's Man Cave, I tend to big up a lot of the southerners. The southern people, for me, have a different, albeit more hospitable disposition as compared to those in Port of Spain or in the north. Similar to Shogunas, the traffic system in San Fernando is a bit, well, at least for me, strange. Lots of roads crisscrossing. Sometimes you have to take multiple roads to reach point A to B. But it's definitely not as bad as Shogunas. Shogunas is really bad. You know, if I wanted, for instance, to cross the highway to go somewhere, I would have to literally drive 10 minutes through traffic to do that, and I just don't understand that. That's not as bad here in San Fernando, but there are roads that I don't understand. Maybe it's just because I'm unfamiliar with the area. So we are getting ready to cross this road. This traffic light tends to take a little while. And once we cross, we will go into San Fernando proper. I believe that's San Fernando Hill in the background there that you might be able to catch a glimpse of. For those of you who don't know, I do have a video on San Fernando proper where I'm actually walking the main city on High Street and Cipero. Actually, I don't know if I reached Cipero. But anyway, at all the main streets, all the shopping areas there, I walk around for around, not sure if it was 2 hours or so, trying to share most of it. But you know, the size of San Fernando is not by any means small. So I couldn't capture everything. So I do have multiple other videos of San Fernando, and I do try to capture things as I go by. For instance, this road. I believe this is Todd's. But you know, if you once lived in this area or passed through here, then these would bring back memories. Or perhaps, as many of the members who come and visit on JB's Man Cave may say, you know, everything seems unrecognizable. San Fernando Hill always has that distinct look though, even when I was young, it still looked like it did not have as much, do I call it excavation, as it did in more recent times. Definitely needs to be preserved. One thing good for San Fernando is shopping, and on this particular day I think I was looking for a place that gives motor vehicle or sell motor vehicle parts. And driving around trying to find it, you are fortunate to get a lot of views of different streets of San Fernando. By the way, for that travel advisory that I spoke about earlier, you can actually go and see a video I created about it. And tell me what you think. At some point in this video too, I think we passed by Pennywise, which is actually in Romain. But we're gonna see the spot where there was a shootout of some bandits and security guards who were carrying cash, as I understand it from reports. And they basically shot up the van, killed the security guards, and tried to make off with the money. But police caught up with them. But that's the kind of brazen crime in Trinidad now. Daylight robberies, daylight killings, drive-by shootings. Drive-by shootings is actually becoming very common. You will just hear about somebody liming in a corner or passing by a road or whatever, and a car just comes by and starts shooting them. Most times they don't make it. And if they do make it from the scene, they die in hospital or something like that. So crime is very prevalent now, unfortunately. As presentation college ahead. And some of these streets I recorded in my San Fernando video proper. If you haven't seen it, make sure to look for that. But like I said, that's, you know, I don't just have one or two videos. I have many videos related to San Fernando or the surrounding areas. The best thing to do is to look for them on my channel. Just make sure to look for the search area within my channel. There are two search bars within YouTube. One is to generally search all the videos on YouTube, and then there's one to search within my channel. Make sure you're searching within my channel, and put in whatever keyword, if it's San Fernando, whatever, and you'll find the related videos. If you're still having trouble, just ask in the comments area, and I will try to link you up. Often people will say, why don't you do this, or why don't you show that, and most of the time I have already created a video for it. So in case you don't know, JB's Man Cave is a collection of videos about real life activities, real life places. It's not a studio performance or anything like that, and it tends to be as raw as possible. Especially my comments, I tend to like to say how it is rather than create an illusion. I know some people like to hear all the positive and stuff. I like to hear positive too, but I also like to hear reality, and what I show you is real. If it's something not real, then I will make sure to state it within the video. What you're looking at is just whatever. But most of my videos are just real. And the reason I do this is because I originally started because I wanted to help my boys who are on the spectrum. I have some very creative, vibrant children who are on the autism spectrum, and I thought if I created this channel, this would be towards helping them. So I'm driven as a father to do this. A lot of comments, sometimes people say, well, why don't you do this? Why don't, like, if I am doing this for the viewer personally, or I am doing this because I have a company that does production or something, and it's not like that. I'm just doing this to help my boys as a father. That's why I'm doing this. I can always tell when people comment whether they understand what JB's Man Cave is about. Everybody has their theory, but I usually can tell, if they really have, taken the time to learn about the channel, what it's about, what kind of videos I produce. And when they haven't, they come with these comments that just let me know, they just haven't taken the time to watch. Or sometimes somebody will watch a video and maybe being impatient will end the video before reaching a point where they could have seen what they wanted to see. So they will comment in the same video and say, you should have passed by X. When I did pass by X, but they didn't finish watching the video. We live in such a zip world now that people want to see what they want to see in the first 5 minutes, and if they don't see it, or sometimes the first 30 seconds, if they don't see it, they get bored and they move on. Fine, but make sure you know what you're commenting about. There's also usually in the description area I put a key, a video key, so if you want to skip around to certain parts, you can do that. When you see me stopping like that, it's because possibly I'm asking questions about the location or something. Like I said, in this particular day I was looking for a certain place for motor supplies. Without naming them, you will recognize when I reach there. And the funny thing about getting directions from people is sometimes the directions are either so vague or so different from each other. Because one person will say go here, go there, and then the next person will say the opposite. Sometimes you just don't know who to believe, and you try to ask as many people as you can to ensure that you get the right information. Again, passing presentation college there on the left. I taken a better view of that in my San Fernando proper video. Go look for that. That's the San Fernando hill on the left too. These are some of the areas where I did not walk, so taking in all this will be good for a lot of you who wanted to see it. Now, San Fernando is very hilly, so it does take some gusto to get around. If you used to live in San Fernando or any of these areas, make sure to comment about it in the comments area. If you are asking about a particular location, please always put in the timeline, the time period of the video, in hours, minutes, and seconds, so that I can understand where you're talking about. Because sometimes people will ask a question about a video, but not really say what part of the video they're responding to. So sometimes I'm at a loss as to what they are asking. And remember, I make hundreds of videos, so I really can't retain all of that, the exact footage in my head. So you can assist me by trying to make it more clear about which part in the video you're talking about. Now, this is just my opinion, but I find San Fernando keeps its surroundings a little more cleaner than Port of Spain. I mean, trash is everywhere in this country. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, I made whole videos about trash, but I'm just saying the overall experience is just a little more cleaner than other places. Looks like these roads here were recently paved as well and painted with road markings. And it's sad to say that because it's such an uncommon sight, you would actually have to comment on that. Normally that should be just, by the way, or taken for granted that, the roads are marked and paved. Anyway, these are all other parts of San Fernando that, while I might have picked up on other road trips, you're specifically seeing it today. And in case you were wondering why some places might be closed, this is because it's in the evening, or I shouldn't say the evening, late afternoon. Maybe it's around 4:30 or so, I would say. And things are winding down. I believe somewhere around here, further up on the street, coming up on the left, is the auto supplies place that I was looking for. And that's just to show when I often comment that sometimes you could come to San Fernando and get things that you can't find elsewhere. Well, it's a good example of that. So I was able to get what I was looking for And now I moved on, and you can see that the sun came out more brilliant in just that stop there. Weather pattern changes here all the time. Sky is clear blue. There isn't as much Saharan dust in the air. However, because it's late afternoon, at some points you would see the sun hitting against the camera. So there are always pros and cons, you know. Best time always to record is noon, but that's when it's really hot. And walking around in that, you know, is not easy. You just sometimes with the weather patterns now, just have to take what you can get, really. Because it might be no rain, but you have Saharan dust. Or you might have no Saharan dust, but then that day it's raining. And so forth. So if you happen to be in the area and you're lucky, you get everything. So we came through this area before. I believe I am looking to go to I think our next stop was Pennywise, so I'm taking an off route to exit San Fernando proper, the city center itself. And so that will give you more views. Ah, well, look at that. You see the people cleaning up. So I was talking about the place looking a little more cleaner than other places. Especially Port of Spain, which seems to have a real problem with trash. If you have seen my other videos, it's just really ridiculous. And there isn't a constant maintenance. You know, people should be on the street constantly throughout the day cleaning. But you just don't see that. You'll see that like once in a blue moon. I'm sure people will argue they come early in the morning or they do it late at night, but a city is a very busy place and you need constant maintenance throughout the day. I mean, for instance, if you have a big building, office building, there is always cleaning personnel on hand all the time. It's not like you just have they come in the morning and then they leave and then you don't see them until the next day. No. Not only that, but I can tell from visiting certain areas that those places that have trash on it it hasn't been picked up for a long time. You can tell. One of the nice things too about San Fernando is because it's hilly. Sometimes you could go up on a higher plane here and you could get a good idea of where you are in relation to other parts of the city. If you were from San Fernando or lived in any of these parts of San Fernando, make sure to talk about it in the comments area. I would like to hear about it. I love to read people's experiences about where they used to live and how it used to be. It's just very interesting because it helps me to understand where we were once and where we are today. History, very important. Because if you don't learn from your history, as they say, you're bound to repeat it. And then there's another definition of madness where if you keep repeating the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. That's sometimes is similar to how Trinidad is. You keep hearing these ways of doing things over and over and over, and everything just seems the same. But I'm not going to go too much into that. Now, some of you really love to hear me talk, and sometimes, besides talking about where I'm driving, I would like to know what in particular you would like me to share thoughts on. If you have specific things that you want to know about the country or whatever um, specific topic, feel free to say your piece or ask your question in the comments area. I'll try to make a note of it, and for instance, in another video, I will try to answer that or talk about it. The things that I try to keep away from, if you'll notice, is politics. There are already people who think that I am somehow rooting for some particular political party, and that is so far from the truth. Just because there are social issues to be brought up, that doesn't mean you are representing some political party. What it means is you care about the social issue. So, for instance, if there's garbage on the road and it's just passing, you're passing every day and you see nobody picking it up, then if you bring it up, does that mean you are from some political party? No, it means you want the garbage off the road, and somebody needs to get their job done. But there are people here who are just blinded by politics, and instead of addressing the issue, they address which party you're from. And that's to show you the kind of mentality of some people here and why things can't progress. That's the southern Napa on the left that we're passing. There's one in the north too, which you would have seen from my Port of Spain video. The other thing I don't touch on is religion. And yes, I have videos about churches and different religious groups, and I touch on those just for educational purposes or sometimes for historical purposes, because religion is a big part of society and a lot of things have been done in the name of religion that shaped history. So sometimes I might show something in relation to that, but for me to actually say, well, X or Y religion and this is what I think, why they're right or why they're wrong, no, I do not do that. I do not get involved in religion because religion and politics are very close to people's hearts, and you'll find yourself climbing a wall trying to convince anybody of something else other than what they believe. And I don't see it as my mission to do that anyway. This is not why I created this channel. This channel is just showing you the real and the raw. Whatever is there, whatever it is I see or hear, you hear and see it too. So we're coming back on to Gulf City Mall. That's that huge building that you're looking at, and if you don't recognize it, that's because that largely is a car park. There are shops going up too, but more or less it's a car park. Took quite a while for them to finish constructing that. And I like malls. I mean, a lot of people think they're old school and they don't have a reason anymore because it's the electronic age and people order online and stuff. But really, that's not Trinidad. Trinidad, I mean, everything you order online comes from abroad. So it's not like you order online and you get it in a day or two. Sometimes you have to wait weeks for it. And, you know, to me, certain things you just can't properly get online, like shoes or dresses. I mean, you have to try it on, see how it fits and whatnot. Just looking at it and guessing your size is not really gonna cut it, at least not for me. Which one do you prefer? Going to a mall or shop and buying the item after looking at it, feeling it in your hands, whatever, or you rather just stay home and order online? Let me know in the comments area. But if you're answering this question, make sure to say what you're answering, right? Because some people will just blurt out an answer, but not really explain what they're answering. This is a long video, so make sure to say what you're answering. This is going towards La Romain, and we're going to pass by Pennywise. I believe this used to be the biggest Pennywise in Trinidad, but not anymore. Pennywise is a place where they sell a lot of cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, and things like that. I believe they started from Tunapuna and Charlotte Street, small beginnings, and grew into this sort of an empire. I mean, I like Pennywise, but when you go in there, I just don't feel like I'm spending pennies. I really do feel like I'm spending dollars. Not because they're particularly expensive, they're a lot cheaper than elsewhere, but things in general are just so expensive, and you need so many things, especially when you have family. So, right down the street here, right where we're turning in here, was where there was the murder of some security guards and stuff. Bandits shooting, killing them, and they were young boys, right, that were doing this. The top part there is the entrance, but there are also some surrounding shops. And the interesting thing about this Pennywise is the parking, there's usually never parking available on the top, so you have to always go down here into the car park. I never like these kinds of car parks because, I don't know, it's too much risk in people not being able to drive and they hit your vehicle. The many times I've gone to malls and come back out and seen scratches and dents on my vehicle, and that's just so annoying. This is the exit, and there's a lumberyard there. Now, I don't know San Fernando and the south region as well as I do Port of Spain, so there probably is a better way to go back heading west, or I should say really north. But the way I know it is you have to go onto this road, which would also take you to a Price Mart, and by the lights there you can turn around and head back. Maybe there are back roads to do it easier, but in this late period in the evening, I don't like doing any fishing around. By the way, so make sure to subscribe, it's free. By the way, the video isn't over yet. This is just an intermission ad, if you want to call it. Make sure to check out my other videos in JB's Man Cave. I have lots of other things. It amazes me how people aren't aware of just how many videos I have and the variety of them. Make sure to look at the main channel. click on my icon, my avatar, and it will take you to the home page of my channel. And just start scrolling down and you will see the number of videos, or just click on the link, the tab that says videos on my homepage or playlist, and you'll see. Very soon I will be hitting, in the creation of this video, very soon I'll be hitting 1,000 videos. Just recently I hit over 1,000,000 views. That's right. Now I need 1,000,000 subscribers. That would be nice, right? That would be a big help to my boys. Anyway, we're heading back towards Gulf View. Gonna be passing Gulf City Mall on the left. I'm sure those of you recognize that M. They're just everywhere. And they're here in Trinidad too. When they first came here some years ago, they came here in, I think, 2000 or 1999, 2000, somewhere there. I can't remember. But when they came around, they came with a big splash. They opened up buildings everywhere, and I believe they didn't make as big a dent as they hoped to, and so they have downsized to, I think, just 3 locations or 2 locations. I can't remember. I don't eat that kind of food, by the way. I stay away from junk. You know, if you're going to put fuel in your vehicle, you look for the best you can, right? You want your vehicle operating well. You don't want to be putting in some junk that you're driving down the road and your vehicle start to sputter and can't perform, or stalls or whatever. Well, that's the same for your body, you know. Eat the right foods, put in the right stuff, you get performance out of your body. Very true, especially if you're getting old, like me. Or you're already old, like me. On the right there was a place called, or still is a place called Palladium. And that's where they had a big arcade and stuff, but kind of simmered down and just kind of died out. Just wasn't built up on, and other commercial enterprises took over that. Not sure why those things happen. Why is it that they just don't pay, or what? But there's such little to do in Trinidad except for, you know, sightseeing, the beaches, some beaches, because most of our beaches are in a terrible state. Besides driving, hiking, camping, you know, those things take consistent effort and don't appeal to everybody. So besides that, if you have to go to places, it's mostly about eating, like restaurants, food and stuff, and drinking and liming with friends. But there should be more to do. I remember San Fernando used to have a big bowling alley. I can't remember if it was the same Gulf City Mall that had that. Maybe it was, not sure. That was so good, and then they took away that too. I'm not sure if they didn't get enough support for it or what, but I'd just like to see more happening. There was even a place in South Park Mall called, I think it was the Dragon's Lair or something, but where they would make like role-playing games and stuff for people in real time, and that closed as well. The pandemic didn't help much either. That really crippled a lot of people and businesses. And even with things open back up now, you can still see a lot of places closed, and I don't know, people just focusing on other things. I think they kind of felt, you know what, I don't want to take that chance again, and then there's some lockdown or something. So I think people are a bit apprehensive on opening things that aren't critical, like pharmacies, food places, and stuff. So you can tell it's late evening and we are heading back north. I think actually in this video, I'm actually heading towards a restaurant with my family. Um, Sometimes on these long road trips, you got to feed everybody. You can't just keep driving and driving because you know I'm in the north and we're all the way south, and by the time I reach home to now see about dinner and all that, it's going to take up immense amounts of time. So sometimes we try to grab some good dinner or whatever wherever we are. That's affordable. And as the sun goes down, you start to see all the lights from the vehicles and not too much of the terrain that surrounds us. Nothing much I can do about that, but I do try to adjust the lighting of the video to compensate. So hopefully that helps you. And that's right, as with all my videos, you even got the full experience of waiting at a traffic light. Sometimes I will speed it up, huh? But other times, no. Just if you want a feeling of what it's like to be here, what it's like to be in traffic now, etc., etc., well, this is it. One thing I like about these roads in San Fernando is they're good linked roads, so they link from one place to the next, almost like a highway. I wish Port of Spain could have some roads like this. The roads that feed point A to B are often roads with a lot of shopping areas on it, so it really doesn't help because you just enter from one traffic place to another traffic heavily congested place, and in Port of Spain often I have to be taking a lot of back roads. In fact, most people take a lot of back roads in order to escape the main roads, which are just ridiculous, completely ridiculous with traffic. At night is a whole different scheme of driving too. Huh? I have many crazy driving videos, if you weren't aware, where I cover the kind of driving that goes on in Trinidad. If you haven't seen that, make sure to look for it. They're all on my channel. Sometimes in these road trips that I'm recording, you could see some of the crazy driving. On the right there, that's South Park. It's like a plaza. Everything is on the outside. It's pretty big. Has a cinema complex there too, with different sizes of viewing screens and even 4D viewing. And something I forgot to comment on, but doesn't the sunset look really nice? I love the multicolor look. How it's going from yellow to orange to blue to dark blue to gray. Really nice. I do have a road trip too where I go from Shogunas all the way down this road into, I think, Gulf City Mall. Make sure to look for it on my channel. Sometimes when you create as many videos as I do, you just really hard keeping track of them all. As much as I can, when I go to an area, I try to capture it as much as I can, because I never know when I'll be back there again, especially if I don't live in the area. So the sunset in the back is really nice. Have you lived in any of these areas? Make sure to tell us about it in the comments area of my YouTube channel, and don't just say, yeah, I lived there, lived where. Make sure to state the timeline in the video so we can know what you're talking about. And you can see as we drive and as the sun goes down and the sunset leaves, it starts to get really dark. Well, friends, I hope that you enjoyed the drive with me today, just simply driving around San Fernando. We could talk a bit, share some of my thoughts rambling on. Hope I didn't bore you to death. Again, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. It's free. Share and like. Let your friends know so they can subscribe too. Just remember, JB's Man Cave is not only about Trinidad and Tobago, it's all about traveling and places in the world. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it.